Hello.
Yo, what's up, Coach?
What the hell's going on, man?
Just a villain all over the news, man.
Let me ask you this. Do you want to be a Raider or not?
Man, I've been trying to be a Raider since day one. I've been fucking working my ass off harder than anyone. I don't know why it's a question of me being a Raider. Like, do you guys want me to be a Raider?
Please stop this shit. Just play football. How hard is it, man? You're a great football player. Just play football.
Yeah, but I'm more than a football player, man. I'm a real person. It ain't about the football. I know how to do that. I'll show you guys down the daily. This is my life. Ain't no more games.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
You play to win the game.
I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game. Not a game. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
You are now locked in to the Clock Dodgers podcast.
Welcome to the Clock Dodgers podcast. I am your host, Neal. Adam is out at a rave or a strip club or something like that. So me and Josh are holding down the fort here. Josh is a little under the weather though, man. So, I appreciate you for trying to make this thing work, Josh.
Yeah, I feel great, man. My voice just goes. It's the start of school. It just always happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, listen. You're not out at the strip club. You're a family man. You're at home, so you gotta respect it.
I don't get invites to these raves.
Hey, neither do I.
FF guy.
Neither do I, man. Neither do I. This guy's crazy. The episode was delayed from our normal release date. That was because of me. I wasn't at a strip club. I was dealing with Hurricane Dorian, who basically pump faked the hell out of Florida, at least where I'm at, and didn't do anything he was expected to do. So I basically spent days putting up shutters and getting, running out to the store, getting water, all this kind of stuff. And then that sucker just wasted my time, man. Wasting my time. And the crappy part about hurricanes doing that here in Florida is, like, it messes up, like, your life. Because, like, even though it didn't hit, everybody adjusted on their end. Like, missing work, or you start getting lazy around the house because you're like, oh my goddamn, this hurricane's coming. You start putting up shutters. You're getting all this food as if something, the end of the world's coming, and then it just throws you off. I don't know if it makes sense to people who aren't dealing with hurricanes. Does it make sense that it can throw you off?
No, I mean, I don't think I know what it's like. Are there a lot of people that are like preppers in Florida?
Preppers?
Like bunker stocking?
There's not really like basements or anything because we can't have basements because we're low sea level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the sea level is too close. Yeah, so there's no, like, bunkers, really, that I know of. I mean, people probably got sheds and stuff, but not
We have tornadoes out here, but it's not like that. Like, it's just, you just watch the news in case you have to go run to your hidey holes, what everybody calls it out here.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You watch the news, and you're like, it's closer, it's getting closer, it's getting bigger, it's getting bigger, oh my God. And then, you're like, all right, is this thing ever going to get here? Like, what the hell? This hurricane was super slow and shit.
Like a 3, 4, 5 day buildup.
Yeah, and it never came. But man, shout out to the Bahamas. They got tarnished, man. So it seems like a lot of people are doing things to help them out. So hopefully they can rebuild. But man, that stuff's scary. It got me thinking, what used to happen before the internet and before TVs and all this kind of stuff. Like someone like the Bahamas would even have no clue this was going to happen, right? And people here who didn't speak to them would have no clue that they just all died, right? Like this kind of stuff happened, right?
What they would do, they probably had some kind of sense that a storm was coming in, but they probably would not have known that it was going to be as crazy bad.
Yeah, I think the history of storms would be something cool to look into. I don't know if there's any way to look into that kind of stuff, what kind of history they have on those things, but it seems like there's it would be cool to look back and see how they dealt with stuff. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, if we deal with it how we deal with it, how did people who didn't even know what was coming dealt with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just seems like it'd be an interesting story. I don't know, man. I'm into history like that. Maybe I'm a nerd.
I'm just thinking with tsunamis, all the animals know it's coming, right?
Yeah.
And so maybe they paid attention to that. I don't know.
Maybe they were more in tune with Mother Nature.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it definitely seems like some interesting to think about and look into. If anyone has any suggestions on how I can research that stuff, let me know. But yeah, man, other than the hurricane, that pushed me back. That pushed everything back. But other than that, everything else has been pretty calm on my end. Everyone's back in school, all that good stuff. So they're keeping me busy. But I felt like it was important for us to get this out there because obviously week 1 has already started as the time of us recording this, and it's important. We just build up to this and then not do it would make no sense. So we definitely wanted to get this last minute episode out, even if Adam is out at raves and strip clubs and Josh is sick and I'm dealing with hurricanes. We're fucking here, man. Gotta get some points for this shit. So yeah, let's do this, Josh. And by the way, you're sick. What kind of sick were you dealing with?
I'm not even sick, dude. It's just my voice.
Oh, it's just like gone out.
I'm fine.
Stop screaming at
fine.
people, man.
Dude, I think I just talk like at like 70% loudness, like all day long.
That's crazy.
Because that's what you gotta do when you're teaching.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say if it's just a matter of talking too much, Adam would have no voice ever because that dude just rambles. So it can't be a matter of just talking too much. He'd be
I
speechless.
had a kid say to me this week, they said, but you don't even yell. And I was like, I know. It's just,
man,
you go from saying 100 words a day over the summer to saying 100,000 words a day in the school year, and it goes.
Yeah, vocal cords are just tired, man. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
But we're gonna not let them rest, and we're gonna do this. So
no,
we're gonna keep them warmed up for the class. So let's do this. Bears and Packers already played. I guess to me it was kind of a ho-hum game. Everybody kind of pointed out that these guys didn't really play a lot in preseason, and we're kind of seeing the effects of that. I don't know how true that is, but I'll take their word for it. They're professionals, former players and stuff that are saying this stuff, so it sounds believable. But overall, I feel like a lot of people were probably disappointed. Nobody came away from this game like elated, right? Nobody came away like super excited. Me and you are a little happy. We got a little victory lap to do. For our boy Cohen, because the internet didn't want to believe us, man. Some people just didn't want to believe us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, zero carries, but it's okay because he got 10 targets, man.
That's right. That's right.
Like, that's fine. I'll put a slot receiver in the RB spot.
Yeah, we'll take that. And of course, we've seen people already knocking that, right? Saying when guys come back from injury, this and that, it's not going to happen. And then I feel like, well, he's just going to get some carries too then, so who cares? But like, yeah, I mean, it felt good. I know it's just week 1, so people say don't get too crazy about it, but this may be our only chance to brag about it, Josh, so we got to take advantage of this. And, I already went on Twitter. There was one dude for sure I had to hit up because I'm like, bro, you went hard in the paint against me on this, and I just had to make sure I mentioned it. He's like just throwing the shrug emoji up in there. I'm like, bro, you had so much to say before. How quiet we get in 1 week. But he didn't even jaw back. He didn't even get really this is just week 1. Da-da-da. He didn't get angry at all. He just took defeat, man.
Just shoulder shrug.
Just take defeat.
Look, David Montgomery looked good. I'm not saying he's not ever gonna be anything, but I love 10 targets for Tarik Cohen. That's just so fantastic. Yeah. It makes me so happy.
That catch for Montgomery looked good too. He made a nice catch.
Yeah, it was like 26 yards, something like that. So it wasn't even like a dump off.
Yeah. Was there anybody that you were was there anybody that you were super disappointed that maybe you expected more from? I mean, obviously, like I said, nobody really splashed out like we wanted to. So like Adams and stuff could be obvious plays here, but for instance, Allen Robinson looked good, but he didn't put the numbers up we wanted. For me was Allison. I thought for sure Allison would be more a part of the game at least, especially when it's such a close game. They would figure ways to give him the ball, but he did nothing. And I know he's not again, he's more of a role player, but these are the kind of guys that I like. The sleeper guys, the guys I can get late in drafts or trade for, and I feel like we're going to produce more than the average people thought. And he did nothing. He didn't even get one catch. I don't even know if he had a target. I don't even know. But it was just not a good game for him at all. Was there anyone else that shocked you on that level?
No. Nobody
nothing?
on the Green Bay side did really well, right? I mean, Aaron Jones had 13 carries, and he didn't really have a great game. Marquez Valdez-Scantling had a good game.
Yeah, he did look good.
Adams still had the most targets, but MVS outperformed him in fantasy points. So... Yeah, just nothing spectacular.
Just a lot of stuff to tilt over. Trubisky.
Yeah. Oh, man. He was getting murdered today on Twitter.
Yeah, all the Bortles talk. I'm like, don't do this to Don't do this to Trubisky, man.
He still supported Allen Robinson.
Yeah, he did. So, yeah, I mean, there's some positive takeaways. And like I said, let's just look at it as week 1 rust. Obviously, nobody should panic at this point for anybody. So these guys are all going to come along better. They're going to warm up. They're going to get, their feet under them, and things will look better, hopefully, for everybody as things move forward. But I know some people are really concerned after that 1 week, but they shouldn't be. But it was a boring game for the most part. I mean, I don't know, like, it's weird. Like, I have this thing where, like, I don't like to watch blowouts in football, but at the same time, games like this can be, like, super boring too. I don't know if I need a middle ground somewhere in there, because, like, it was, like, super boring, but at the same time, I don't want the blowouts either. So it's like I need a little middle. Like, can you guys score 21 each, maybe, or something here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what everybody wants. It's like a good game, a competitive game that actually has points happening.
Yeah. Do you think anybody came away concerned with the Packers head coach, his first game?
I mean, I think we should probably relax on the coach after one game.
That's what I feel.
But I think people, myself, like, why? I want to know why Jamal Williams is still out there getting work. Like that's not a great sign. I would have liked to see Aaron Jones just run away with it.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, we'll see. Like I said, week 1, I don't want to get crazy either way, positive or negative. So that there's not much to really say about this except that nobody jumped off the page, nobody was super excited to watch, and we just got to hope all of these guys find some progression here. The other big news that happened within the last couple of days, yesterday, today, I forget when it started. Was it yesterday or the day before? I don't know. But Antonio Brown, my beloved Raiders, have had some drama the last couple of days. They've been all in the news, and yeah, man, this is a funk for me to be in. For regular fans, they get to just watch and enjoy this madness. But for me, obviously as a Raider fan, it entails a little more drama for me. But just off of like the up and down we've seen here. So Antonio Brown, for anyone who doesn't know, obviously, I mean, you shouldn't even be listening to this episode if you don't have Antonio Brown. But Antonio Brown basically got fined by the Raiders for missing practices, broadcasted it on his Instagram because that's what all normal people do. Right? Not really. And somehow when he was at practice the next day, there's varying reports whether he started it, whether he, did this privately, whether he did this out in the commotion in front of everybody. But somehow, some way, him and the general manager, Mike Mayock, had a conversation about it. Again, AB's memories of this are very different from what other people are saying. But they had a discussion. Supposedly, AB flipped out, said some things, did some things. And then all of a sudden, it looked like the Raiders were going to either suspend this guy, cut this guy, save $30 million, get AB out of here. And then within less than 24 hours, the next morning we wake up and it's like, everything's okay. They're working towards fixing this. They got John Gruden's trying to save the situation. Drew Rosenhaus is trying to fix the situation. And now it's AB's going to play Monday night. There's no question about it. He's apologized to the team. And we're back in this weird circle that we're going around and around in. It feels like all offseason with AB and the Raiders, which for me as a Raider fan, I feel like it's given the Raiders a bad rap. Like, I don't feel like this is not the Raiders' fault, right? Like, everyone's saying, like, oh, this is the guy John Gruden traded Cooper and Mack for. It has nothing to do with AB. It had nothing to do with AB. It never did, and it still doesn't. Those trades had nothing to do with it. Then they're like, oh, well, now he's overrunning the GM. I don't believe that either. Like, I feel like everyone's making the Raiders a target of this, and really AB is the one that's causing this craziness. But before I go even deeper on my end, from someone who's not a Raider fan, who's not emotional about this, how do you feel about the whole situation, Josh?
Well, first of all, I think the Raiders have handled it well. Like, every time that something has come out about the team, it's been like, well, we're going to support Antonio Brown.
Right.
And then just recently, just like a few minutes ago, I saw that YouTube video about Antonio Brown.
So weird.
Did you see that?
Yeah, so weird, man.
Dude, I buy it. I'm just a sucker for Antonio Brown. I love that shit. Like, I totally buy it.
But how do you take it? How do you take the video? Like, what are you coming away with from it?
I think.
Do you think he's dealing with like off the field issues or something?
I don't know.
Like personal issues?
I mean, I don't think that they told him through this whole helmet issue that he was going to be getting fined. And I think that he's probably been getting superstar treatment in Pittsburgh, and maybe he expected it in Oakland and was surprised when he found out that he wasn't like exempt from all of the rules.
Right.
So I think that's why he was like, what is this? I'm getting fined for all this stuff. But I totally believe him that he's been working and that he's ready to go. and then he's just not sure if his team is ready to have him there. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I feel very naive about it, but at the same time, like, let's go AB. I love it.
Now, okay, so for me, it's like I've been defending this dude, right? Like, I've been arguing with Steeler fans ever since the Raiders made the trade, and, you know, even before that, I believe I defended him. But it's just like, I'm always rooting for the underdogs, right? Like Josh Gordon, I pull for him. AB, I pull for him because it seemed like everybody was against him, right? Like, so whenever like everybody goes against somebody, I can't help but feel like, well, maybe we're wrong. Maybe we're looking at this wrong, right? So I always try to defend the guy, and so I've been defending him this whole time. And as soon as this shit happened, all the Steeler fans were in my fucking messages like, told you so, this was coming, da da da, and I'm like, okay. I've been defending this guy all along, but it's like this has been crazy, inconsistent, like mood swings up and down. I'm like, is there like mental health issues here? Is there like CTE issues here? And it's because like I watched Hard Knocks. I see him on Instagram. I see all this stuff. He's like loves his kids, loves his family, loves the game. And then like out of nowhere, whoosh, he does this crazy thing. And it's like up and down every day. And it's like, I'm like, man, is there something like wrong, really mentally wrong here? Or is it just like diva shit? I don't know. And like you said, maybe he's had star treatment his whole life. You know, the Raiders are taking a little different approach to it than, you know, the Steelers probably have. And, you know, it was weird watching the video and John Gruden's like, you know, do you want to be a Raider? And he's like, yeah, like, I don't know why you're even asking me that. Like, do you guys want me to be a Raider is how I feel. And then he's like, John Gruden's like, can we just cut the shit out and like play football? And I'm like, yeah, this is so weird. Like, I don't know, man. Like, publicly releasing that call, like, it just seemed weird to me. Like, I don't know what that was about.
It seemed weird. And it was like clearly a produced product.
Yes.
But at the same time, like everything John Gruden said, I just loved it.
Yeah.
Like you know, the positive things he said to him, that just, even if he's wrong, that's the side you want to be on.
Right.
That's the stuff you say to a player. You know? Like I just loved it.
Yeah.
And it would, after that video, it would not surprise me if AB just goes out, tears it up week 1. I mean, nothing he does can surprise anyone in any direction now, but I love it.
Yeah, no, it definitely was one of those videos where I think it helps John Gruden and the Raiders too, because like, look how much this coach fights for his player. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I know a lot of people knock that shit, like, oh, is he running the team over Mayock and stuff? And he's clearly not, because Mayock sent this letter and caused all this. But it's like, at the same time, like, that shit is, you know, it's like inspiring or motivating to hear. Like, yeah, this dude's getting behind him, man. Like, if he's behind him, why shouldn't we be behind him? You know what I mean?
Gruden wasn't kissing his ass.
No.
He just said, like,
can we please move on?
He asked him some tough questions.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to play? What's going on with this shit? Why don't you just play football?
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was right on.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's weird. It's so Raiders, man. Everything is so Raiders. So we'll see how it plays out. I hope it's the end of it, but it, you know, so far it's not been the case. That hasn't been the pattern we've been following here, but hopefully, you know, he's in a better place. He's cleared whatever maybe he was insecure, you know, a new team, new managements, new coaches, new players. Maybe he was a little insecure when he got the letter. I don't know, man. But we'll see how it plays out. We'll see if the Raiders get burned ultimately by doing this, because I did hear that, like, the $14 million bonus, whatever, like, once Monday comes and he's on the team and he plays, like, it's locked in. So the Raiders ain't, you know, the Raiders are losing out that opportunity to cash that out. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it doesn't burn the Raiders. Hopefully AB, you know, does everything we hope he can do. And it would just suck if, you know, it does turn this way for, like, good, as far as a negative way for him, because it's like, you don't want your legacy to be that. Like, you're a Hall of Fame caliber player. You don't want to have, like, this stain on your name. Yeah. You know what I mean? So hopefully
he
for everybody.
very quickly went from, like, maybe the guy who's going to surpass Jerry Rice to all of this nonsense.
Right. And it does seem like, did you hear when he said on that video too, he's like, I'm a villain on TV. Like,
yeah,
you did kind of feel for him, like, damn, yeah, everyone is making him the bad guy. You know what I mean? They don't even know the whole story.
You know what? Like, he also said, this is my life. It is his life. Damn it. If he wants a certain helmet to go out there and play in, get him a helmet.
Yep.
Whatever he wants.
Yep. Yeah, he said a lot of interesting stuff. So I'm pulling for him. You're obviously pulling for him. And, you know, hopefully people come around to him, and hopefully he doesn't continue this shit, because I would hate for his reputation to end up as, like, oh, this guy was just a dickhead. So we'll see how it plays out. But it's definitely something to follow. It's been interesting, and we'll see how AB finishes this up, man. Let's move over into our regularly scheduled programming. We'll start with trust issues like we always do. What we'll do is we're just gonna talk about some players. I got like 4 of them, I believe, 4 or 5 of them. Week 1, we're just gonna talk week 1 trust issues, whether we trust these guys or we have trust issues with them. The first one is Melvin Gordon's replacements. Do we have trust issues for these guys, or do we trust them? And when I say trust, I guess we have to kind of say in what terms. I guess, do we feel like we don't have to say either one of these guys are going to be Melvin Gordon or even have those numbers necessarily, but do we trust them to put them in our lineups? And whether you want to just consider it a flex thing, how much do you trust them if you trust them? Is it a flex? Is it an RB2?
Yeah.
Where are we at with these guys? So I'll let you go first.
So I would trust both of them at a flex level, but I think both of them are overvalued because I think that you're going into Committeeville with Eckler and Jackson, and you may know what you're getting week to week and you may not. So I think both of them could be top 24 backs on the season, but I don't think either one of them is going to be like just this massive payoff RB1 type of a player.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I trust him as flex for sure. I feel like I have more faith in Eckler. I feel like I do have more faith in him. I can see him being more than a flex, even starting week 1. The thing I do like about their situation is this wasn't dropped on them. Like, they've been prepared for this. So it's not like, week 1 came, Melvin Gordon's been practicing the entire time. Now it's not like, hey, I'm not going to play. Like, they've known this was coming for the most part, and they prepared for it for the most part. So I feel like I'm not too concerned about it. I don't think either one's going to produce like Melvin Gordon, obviously. But I do feel like I like Eckler more. But I think if you have them and you need them, you had Melvin Gordon and you had one of them, I have no issue with flexing either one of them. But I do like Eckler more. I think it's the pass catching and stuff he did last year that I liked. So definitely, like you said, we both trust him at flex level. Hopefully people don't have to depend on them for more than that. But if you drafted Melvin Gordon and you got one of these guys, at least you kind of backed yourself up a little bit.
Yeah, they're definitely players I'd like to wait a week and see what actually happens.
Yeah, some people aren't going to have that opportunity, though.
Yeah, well, I would agree with you then that Austin Eckler would be the one that I would trust more.
Yeah.
But Austin Eckler as like an RB2 makes me kind of nervous.
Come on, man. That's what you're supposed to live for, Josh. Those are the kind of guys you live for, bro.
No, I'm living that Tarik Cohen 10 target life. All right.
We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. The next one is the guy we were just speaking about, Antonio Brown. We obviously both feel good about the guy. Do you trust him or not, or do you have trust issues? Week 1.
The thing about Antonio Brown is like we're gonna know, right? I feel like going into games Sunday, we're gonna know if he's playing or not, and if he's playing, you start him.
Yep.
That's what I think. It's gonna be Antonio Brown, and I don't buy into. Like, there might be some just normal chemistry development type of things that need to happen between him and Derek Carr. But I think that Carr is more than capable, and so is Antonio. And I would have him in my lineup week 1 if he's playing, no problem.
Yeah, you're crazy if you don't trust Antonio Brown. Like you said, as long as we hear that he's starting and he's playing, you don't take him out of your lineup for anybody. Don't get cute. Don't be one of these guys that say I'm not playing him because I don't like how he acts in real life, whatever. If that's how you're going to do it, just trade him, get rid of him now. Because like this guy needs to be in your lineup. He's Antonio Brown, man. Like you said, even the chemistry thing is overblown if you're concerned about it. Like he's that good. He's just going to fit anywhere. It doesn't matter. So he's that good that he's going to fit. Carr, like you said, is that good that he can make it happen. He's not. You don't have to feel like he's great. You don't have to feel like he's amazing. You don't have to feel like he's Big Ben if you don't want to. That's fine. But either way, it's the Raiders. It's John Gruden. We see how hard they're fighting for Antonio Brown. They're going to force feed this dude the ball. I don't care what anyone says. Antonio Brown is going to have so many targets. It ain't even funny. And I love him.
That's right. Allen Robinson.
Yeah.
It's Antonio Brown.
That's right, baby. He's had more targets than Cohen?
Yes. Yeah, if he plays, he will.
All right. The next guy, Jacoby Brissett. Another guy that I got a lot of flack for, Josh, when I traded for him in Dynasty super flex. Some people say I gave up too much, but then he got his extension, and some people were like, all right, now I can kind of rock with what you're doing. But still, a lot of people, are kind of iffy on him. They're not crazy about him. Obviously, if you're in a super flex type of thing, then you're more likely to start this guy and try to trust him. But, in a 12-team league, you're not going to start Jacoby probably, but Do you have trust issues with Jacoby in general, or do you have trust issues? Do you trust him or trust issues?
I would start him in a super flex if I needed to.
Yeah.
You know, I think he's going to give you like QB2, you know, somewhere between 13 and 24 QB2 production. And it's going to be interesting. Like, we're going to find out exactly how much circumstances matter, because he's got pretty good surroundings, pretty good weapons, pretty good team, you know, offensively. I think it'll be interesting just to see what he's able to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I trust him. He comes from a high school down the block from me over here at Dwyer. So I got a little personal connection. He's a local guy, so I always root for those kind of guys. But I do agree. He has a better offense than he had before. If you hear any of the reports from the Colts, from GMs, owners, coaches, they rave about the dude from a talent standpoint, a leader standpoint, all that stuff. And you know how much I love leaders at quarterback, Josh. You know I love leaders and winners at quarterback, Josh. But I have a question for you. So I traded for him in a league, right? And I don't know if I can put him in my super flex lineup. You tell me what you think here. So I have Derek Carr starting over Brissett in my regular quarterback spot. And then I have McCaffrey, Dalvin Cook. I started Cohen already. I have Marlon Mack, Phillip Lindsay, Devontae Adams, who already played, Chris Godwin, DJ Moore, and then my two tight ends that I have to play are Austin Hooper and Ingram. Do you take any of those guys out? Obviously, you can't take tight ends out, and you can't take the guys who already played out. But would you take any of them out for Brissett?
That was a whole lot of guys. I would probably take Marlon Mack out for
Would you?
Brissett.
Would you have said that when Andrew Luck was still there?
No, probably not.
Right. So you like him less because of it?
Marlon Mack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Marlon Mack less because of Andrew Luck being gone. I mean, until we see that Jacoby Brissett is going to put the Colts in the red zone as often, I don't think we should assume that. And, you know, Marlon Mack came on toward the end of a season as a pass catcher and was doing more and more, which I like, but Nyheim Hines could still be a very real part of that offense. And so if Marlon Mack is a more touchdown-dependent running back who is now playing on a team with Jacoby instead of Andrew Luck, that hurts him. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's where I'm having a tough time, man. I'm having a tough time thinking if I should put Brissett in there or not. I'm like, damn, I traded a first-round pick for the dude. Now I'm not going to put him in my lineup. Like, I got to fucking get him in there somewhere. So, yeah. I mean, the Mac one is probably the closest one that I have to just, think about. If Cohen and stuff didn't play, would you have changed Cohen out for him or no?
I probably would have gone Brissett over Cohen.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's a QB versus an RB.
Right. All right, something to think about. Let's see if any listeners think I'm crazy for not having him in the lineup yet. We'll see. The last guy for trust issues is Carlos Hyde. I have a strong feeling I know where you're going to go with this because it's where most would go for this, but also because there's another running back there that you love more than life itself, and I can't imagine that you would trust Carlos because of that. But trust issues, or do you trust our man Carlos Hyde in Houston?
No trust whatsoever. I don't think this guy's going to have any real significance at all. I think that Carlos Hyde on the season will be like RB 50.
Jeez.
I would not start Carlos Hyde. I just cannot even imagine.
And this has nothing to do with the matchup, which the Saints have a very good run defense. This has nothing to do with.
No, it has everything to do with what I think his role on that team will be, which will be like just the most boring low efficiency touches. He's not going to get any targets. Maybe he falls into the end zone once, or he could have a week where it's twice. But I don't want anything to do with that guy playing besides a Duke Johnson who's going to get all of the targets. I have no interest in Carlos Hyde.
I'm with you here, Josh. I don't trust him. We got our boy Duke in Houston. Boy Duke Johnson, who we're not going to let Carlos Hyde steal his thunder, man. We can't tolerate that. We can't allow that. You cannot allow that, especially when you own him in every single league, Josh.
Players like Carlos Hyde, who finished, I think, between RB30 and RB40 and then changed teams, went on to finish at the best RB55 all the way down to RB109. For older players who played a season, and were not great, they don't get this benefit from a new team, even if it's a better team. Like, it just doesn't happen.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. He
No.
just moves around everywhere and sucks. The last time he was relevant was what, in San Francisco, right?
Sign.
He was last relevant in San Fran, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's done nothing since then.
he had a good season. Like, I think he's a perfectly fine running back, but I don't think that the Texans are going to have any need for him.
Yeah. He just doesn't fit what they're doing, man.
No.
We'll see. I mean, they I don't know what they were thinking acquiring him. Like, obviously Lamar Miller, I guess he was probably the easiest guy to get, at this point. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I wish they would have rather just stay with a young guy, a rookie or something, and just, mixed him in. Rather than
Crockett or Higdon.
Yeah.
It would have been more exciting.
Crockett went to the Raiders, I think, on the practice squad now. I was like, I thought he was a little better than that. I thought he was doing well in Houston, but it is what it is. We'll see how that plays out. All right, that's it for trust or trust issues. The next thing we're going to do is rank them. We're going to rank them, Josh. I have 3 sets of guys this week. 3 sets of guys. 2 are all teammates, 2 sets of them, and the last set is not teammates. So I'm going to list 3 players. I'm going to give us 3 players. We're going to rank them and see how you feel about them. Obviously, those listening can play at home and tell us if you disagree. But the first group is a very, very often discussed group, and that group is Damian Williams, Darwin Thompson, the rookie, and a guy who was just thrown into the mix, LaShawn McCoy. How do you rank these 3 gentlemen, Josh?
I'd put McCoy at the end in 3rd place. Like, I mean, I think he's better than Carlos Hyde, but he's in that same boat. Like, I think of 2017, Matt Forte, when he went to the Jets.
Yep.
And he had a few games where they just acted like they did not care that Matt Forte was 37, and they just fed him the ball. And he was like, he had 3 or 4 RB1 weeks, but on the season he was RB40. And I think that's what LaShawn McCoy is going to be.
Man.
And, like, that's fine. I'm looking forward to those big LaShawn McCoy weeks. I like LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. It's very unlikely, in my opinion, that he's going to go there and suddenly be better.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's hard to rank LaShawn McCoy higher than that. I mean, I know he's played for this coach, so he knows this coach. He's done this system, so we can't necessarily say, like, he doesn't know what's going on, like, he's new to the team. We can, in a sense, but, like, he has a little more than Carlos Hyde had as far as, familiarity. But, like you said, you feel like we're kind of phasing out the old guard here. You feel like he's kind of part of that group. And, everyone knows I'm not crazy about Damian Williams. So he's kind of just been the guy who was gifted this team right now. Like, I just feel like if Kareem Hunt was still there, we wouldn't be talking about these guys. Damian Williams would be irrelevant. And so he was just kind of handed this team. I'm not crazy about him, but I know he does some things well. I'm going to put LaShawn McCoy at the end with you also. And I can't put the rookie Darwin Thompson above Damian Williams at this point, I don't believe. But as far as, like, how I'm managing my teams, I definitely have all Darwin and no Damian or LaShawn. So that's how I projected going forward, like, out. But I don't want to just say the rookie right now because obviously it's not realistic carries-wise and stuff. I don't feel like he's going to get that chance to do it right now. But I would agree with you. Right now, especially we're talking week 1 or the beginning of the season, we have to say Damian for sure 1. LaShawn McCoy 3rd, I think that might bother some people. I feel like some people will definitely feel like he's above the rookie. But, I'm going to go with you and put the rookie ahead of him just because I just feel like, for what, man? At this point, for what? For
like,
what?
Weeks 1 through 4, he probably is a better bet than Darwin.
Yeah.
But I don't think that he has the upside.
Yeah, I don't either.
I mean, he played like 14 games last season, and in fantasy points per game, he was RB42. Like,
in Buffalo, to be fair.
In Buffalo, but he's been successful there. I mean, the team has changed, but he's the entrenched number 1. Like, I feel like if he was vintage LaShawn McCoy, we would have gotten better than that. At least a top 24 back.
Right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I agree with you on that. So, all right, we got him 3rd. I'm curious how most people would rank that, but yeah, we have him 3rd. All right, the next group of guys, some guys that I love here, man. Some guys that I really like. Will Fuller, Kenny Stills, and Kiki Kuti Wide receivers for the Houston Texans that our boy Deshaun Watson will be slinging it to. They're not the only receivers there because DeAndre Hopkins is there, but these are the three that I want to see how we rank these guys because I'm curious. Kenny Stills being thrown into the mix certainly mixes things up, makes things a little more interesting there. So I'm curious how we rank them. I'll say from my standpoint first, I'm obviously, and everyone knows, a huge Will Fuller fan. I have him pretty much in every league I'm in that I can get him in. So I'm going to put Will Fuller first because I want to believe, Josh, that Will Fuller remains healthy for an entire season. I'm going to hold the faith open. Now, I'm not talking about he might miss a game or something, but he's not going to have any major catastrophic injuries. Knock on wood if you're with me. I don't think he's going to have any issues. So I'm going to put him first. And then, this may surprise some people. I don't know. Maybe not. I'm putting Kenny Stills second on this list. I'm putting him second. I know a lot of people are up on Kiki right now. I know a lot of people love Kiki, especially when Will Fuller gets hurt. They feel like there's a big opportunity for Kiki there. With Kenny Stills there, for me, that definitely changes things. So I'm going to go Will, Kenny, Kiki, Do You Love Me? Josh, how do you rank these three?
I agree with you, man. I think Will Fuller has a special thing going on in that offense with Deshaun Watson and that downfield connection. And like the other thing that you have to think about here is, this is a habitat that is dominated by DeAndre Hopkins. And you're not going to get 10 targets a game unless you're DeAndre Hopkins.
Right.
So as much as I like what I've seen from Kiki, I just don't think he's going to get it done at slot receiver level efficiency.
Right.
Like you have to be a Will Fuller to exist on the field with DeAndre Hopkins.
Right, because we know Will Fuller can make those big plays, right? He can spread the field. Yeah. So we know he can take one play and be valuable to us. The question then is, where does Kenny fall for you? I know you say he falls second here on the list, but how do you feel like his game translates to this team?
I feel like Kenny Stills is probably a very good football player that's never had a great opportunity, and now he has one. And so if Will Fuller, he's inside of 12 months from his injury, his ACL. So if Will Fuller is not ready to go or has another problem in the season, I would be interested in Kenny Stills. I feel like this could be a great spot for him to show what he can do.
Yeah, if you have someone in your league who doesn't believe in Kenny Stills, or they feel like he just got traded to a crowded place, or any of that kind of stuff, I think you should try to buy right now, because it may be too late later, especially if Will Fuller is not where we want him to be health-wise, or if he does get hurt. You're going to want all the Kenny Stills you can get. So now is the chance to buy if you ever intend to. That's how I feel about it. And Kiki, he's what he is, man. He's Kiki. We'll see what he does. But
yeah, it's not that Kiki's not good. It's just like to be a good slot receiver, you need volume.
Yeah.
And you're not going to get it with Hopkins and Duke Johnson on the field.
Yeah, if they all stay healthy, that is, arguably one of the best wide receiver groups in the NFL. I mean, I don't know there's a lot of obviously good groups, but that's a pretty damn good group if they stay healthy.
It is. Yeah. It is. In 2 or 3 years, when they're all like established players, I think we might be talking about them in a different way.
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. So we agree on that one. And the last group is a little group I mixed up here. I threw it around, threw some players in here. I was curious what you think. I think I know where you're going because I know you so well, but I'm not sure. So the guys I got listed here are Kenyon Drake of the Dolphins, Peyton Barber, another Florida team, the Bucks, and then your boy, Matt Breida from the 49ers, who everyone talked about on the depth chart on Twitter world, was put number 1 on the depth chart above Tevin Coleman, who was a concern for some people now that he's a Niner. So where do you rank these guys, Josh?
I think I would actually go Drake first because I think he has more ceiling. Like I think he has the potential to monopolize that backfield. And I think that Breida could be maybe slightly more productive than Coleman on the season, but I expect Tevin Coleman to continue to have a role where Kalen Ballage may just not be very good. Kalen Ballage could go away.
Yeah.
And then Peyton Barber, I think, is just a low ceiling type of an option. He's going to Lamar Miller you.
Yeah.
He'll continue to go out there but it's never going to be a big week.
It's interesting. I thought you were going to go Breida first.
You know, I like Breida. I like Breida at his cost, but I think Kenyon Drake could really have a lot more ceiling.
Yeah, I'm a big Drake fan, so I'm definitely putting Drake first. And I'm actually going to go the same way you went. I'm going to go Breida and then Barber. For me, Barber, the concern is, you know, I don't know if Ronald Jones is going to be anything. And then there's also Dare, who I'm not going to dare try to say his last name. But Dare, he's Dare, boy. Dare is Dare. And I'm thinking he might be something. So Peyton Barber, watch out. If you know, I'm big on Dare right now, man. You know, just so.
Do you like Darwin or Dare?
I'm still gonna go Darwin.
Choice. Yeah, I had to make this choice and I picked Darwin, but I don't know.
Dare may have an easier route to carries, like an easier path to them, but I don't know. I mean, Barber could do, you know, Barber may just be okay, and they may not feel the need to, you know, get other guys mixed in the mix. I don't know, but yeah, Dare, man, Dare is Dare, and I will not ignore it, man. He is Dare. Yeah, so I like Dare. So yeah, so I'm gonna put Barber last. Barber just is not inspiring to me, man. He doesn't get me going. So yeah, Drake, Breida, Barber. That's how we rank them. All right, man. We've knocked off trust issues. We've knocked off rank them. We've talked a little bit of Bears Packers. We talked some AB drama. We're gonna move over to foul or no foul. I don't even feel bad for your voice, Josh. I'm gonna be honest. I love you, man. I love you, but I don't feel bad. You're getting worse and worse. I know it. You're probably like, oh my god. But I'm gonna say we're gonna keep dragging this thing out. Just keep drinking water, man. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated, my friend. For foul, I hear you drinking right now too. See how good this? These mics are no joke, buddy. All right, Sony headphones picking up everything. We're gonna go over to foul or no foul, which because it's week 1, I figured, you know, usually I mix this up. Sometimes there are sport things or fantasy football things, but because it's week 1 and celebration, we'll do all fantasy football stuff. So we're going to start this off. Of course, I'm going to throw these statements at you, Josh. I'm going to let you go first on all of them, and then I'll follow up after you. But I'm going to throw these statements at you. You let me know if you agree with the statement, there's no foul, or if you disagree, and it's a foul. The first one, Lamar Jackson will be the number 1 quarterback in scoring this week after he plays against the Dolphins. Foul or no foul?
Oh, no foul, no foul. I think it's pretty hot, but it could happen just because he could rush for 100 yards and then what, you know? So it could happen. I would not bet money on it. I'd still probably like Deshaun Watson over him.
You still going Deshaun, huh?
yeah. I mean, if I have to actually put my money where my mouth is, but I'm here for Lamar Jackson season. That's great.
I'm excited for Lamar Jackson, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, he is an exciting player. What are we going to do if he comes out and throws for 350 yards week 1? People are going to have nothing to say.
Nothing. We're going to go crazy. I don't know, man. Again, Deshaun Watson type of guy, man. He's just a winner, dude. I'm telling you. I like it. And running that ball.
Not banged up yet. What if Lamar comes out and is just lighting the world on fire and then gets hurt after like 6 weeks?
That would suck.
Yeah. True Deshaun Watson style.
It would suck. But again, the way those guys play, it's totally possible. It's totally possible. Yeah. I don't know. He's exciting. I'm with you. No foul. All right. Next one. Cowboys running back Tony Pollard will be a flex option most weeks. Foul or no foul?
Foul. I think he's done. He's done.
Done? You call him Dunzo?
He's done. He's done. His career has peaked. Like, I hope you enjoyed your 15 minutes till Tony
Wow. Pollard. Damn.
I'm sorry. I just, like, the Zeke holdout never made any sense to me. Tony Pollard made, the most of the opportunity he got. Good for him. I hope he gets a shot somewhere.
Man.
But I don't think it's going to be a Dallas.
Brutal. Man. You know how many Tony Pollard fans right now are smashing their iPhones because you're saying this? Oh, man.
Hey, look, they got him for nothing.
It's true. It's true. But, I mean, he played well, right? Like you said, he made the most of his opportunities.
Yeah.
And Zeke hasn't been playing with the team. Don't you feel like the Cowboys are going to try to reward Pollard a little bit? Like, here's a couple carries, buddy.
Maybe. I don't think it's going to amount to anything.
All right.
I would not flex Tony Pollard.
Yeah, I wouldn't have the balls to flex Tony Pollard. So I'm going to say foul, too, just because I ain't got the cojones to do it. Italian meatballs, as I talk about, man. I ain't got them for Tony Pollard. So, yeah, I'm going to go foul with you, too. But, man, I hate the people that drafted him thinking Zeke wasn't going to play, man. Just big mistake doing that.
Yeah, he was never like an Austin Eckler level option, in my opinion.
No. I mean, if Zeke didn't play, obviously we have to talk about the guy. But, I thought Zeke was going to play, so I never gave him that. I never thought about it that way because I never thought it was really going to happen. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. But, yeah, I've seen some people. I even was talking to someone earlier. I was like, you got to get him out of your lineup. Like, what are you doing? Get this dude out of here. Put someone else in. It's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. All right, next question or next statement. Devin Singletary will get Frank Gore out of his way by week 5 and will become the Bills' unquestioned number 1 running back. Foul or no foul?
He may get Frank Gore out of his way, but then he gets run over by TJ Yeldon, right?
That's right, baby.
I mean, as much shit as I talk about Josh Jacobs calling him TJ Yeldon, I will absolutely cheer for the actual TJ Yeldon.
Why are you gonna hate Josh and then cheer for TJ? I mean, the guy shares your same fucking first name, man.
It's the hype, man. It's the hype. Like
hype is real.
There's no hype right now. So I like
everyone gave me shit for loving TJ last year. Now you guys want to flip the script and like all of a sudden like he's third string running back and you guys are like, yeah, TJ's not bad. It's like, what the hell is going on, man? Am I in a fucking upside down world?
There was like 1 week last year. It was like week 4 when TJ Yeldon was supposed to have that backfield to himself and just smash, and he didn't smash. And I will never forgive him.
Oh, man. I'm a believer, man. Hopefully they both get Frank Gore out the way and they both become legitimate options here. But I'm going to say no foul. I do think Devin Singletary will get Frank Gore out of the way. I can't stand Frank Gore at this point. I mean, I respect what Frank Gore has done and has been able to continue to do. But from a fantasy perspective, man, you're just slowing things down for us, bro. Get out the way, man. Get out the way. He's supposed to be LaShawn McCoy. He's supposed to be your Matt Forte in 2017. He's supposed to be your Carlos Hyde, and he just keeps fucking going. So, hopefully.
I bet Frank Gore is a cool guy, man.
I'm sure he's a super cool guy.
Yeah, I bet, like, you cannot say anything that piss Frank Gore off.
No.
Like, I bet he's just chill.
Except get off my fantasy team, man. Get out of here. Get the hell out the way, bro. All right. Last one, a guy we've spoken about a lot, a guy the media has spoken about a lot, the guy Twitter, Instagram, the whole world has spoken about a lot. Antonio Brown will score 2 touchdowns against the Broncos on Monday Night Football. Foul or no foul?
No foul. Hell yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Antonio Brown, man. I love it.
I like sick Josh. I like this guy, man. You might be medicated up or something because you're on page with me today.
I love Antonio, man. I'm telling you, that video, hook, line, and sinker. I love it.
That video is made for the Joshes of the world, man.
It
worked.
It spoke to me.
It worked. I see people bashing it on Twitter, but it worked for you.
Yeah.
And I love that.
That was inspiring, man. That was a good video.
He said, this is my life, Josh.
Yeah, no more games.
That resonated with you. That resonated with you, man.
It did. I can't help it.
I just hate that Antonio Brown is like a girlfriend you can't shake, man. She's like, you break up with her, you love her. You break up with her, you love her. It's like, dude, come on, man. Just stop with the bullshit, man. Just stop acting like a child and ball out. That's all I need. I'm all in, man.
When it's good, it's just so good, though.
Yeah. You can't. It's like all your friends keep saying, man, you got to drop that girl, man. You're like, I can't, bro.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, man. It's one of those things. I have no experience with that. I'm just saying. It's not my wife or anything, guys.
My friend.
Yeah. Totally made believe. Yeah. All right. That's it. That's all I have for foul or no foul. We're going to close this thing out. We hit him hard today, man. You're sick. Freaking Adam, hopefully he's not passed out from ecstasy right now somewhere from the raves. Hopefully he's been hydrating himself. And you definitely need to hydrate your damn throat. And Hurricane Dorian didn't hydrate shit out here, so we're dry too. It's not good, man. It's not good, but we made it happen. We knocked it out of the park. I do want to do show and tell before we go. I don't know if you came prepared. Since you're sick, maybe you want to recommend the medicine that you're taking. Oh, you're not sick. I keep saying you're sick. You're not sick. You're just, your vocal cords need a break. But listen, my show and tell for the week, I don't know if you've seen it. I don't know if you care to see it, but Dave Chappelle's latest stand-up special, Sticks and Stones, is a thing of beauty. It's amazing. It's hilarious. It touches on all the social and cultural topics that are sensitive to so many people and that piss people off and bother people. And I'm so glad that he did it. And comedy is a space where comedians as people can talk about anything, in my opinion. And he did just that, and it was hilarious. And I feel like everybody should see it. Everybody should see it. So if there's anything I've ever recommended, this is I'm recommending more than anything. It is an amazing stand-up. You will laugh from beginning to end. You'll also just love the conversation, man. He did a masterful job. So that's my recommendation. That's my show and tell for the day. Dave Chappelle. You can find it on Netflix. If you don't have a subscription, stop being fucking cheap. Get your subscription. Netflix, Dave Chappelle, Sticks and Stones. Watch that today. Josh, anything?
Well, first of all, I've seen the Dave Chappelle.
You have?
It is fantastic.
Dang, it's good, man.
He's got like 3 or 4 different things on Netflix right now, and some of them are kind of similar, but they're all great.
That was fire, man. That was so good. I don't know if there's anyone better than him, man. Like, he is so good at what he does.
Well, he's so relatable. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
he just does such a good job. Something like I can't even tell if it was like, I don't know, like I don't want to spoil anything, but there was like a cell phone moment, and I'm like, was this planned or is this like really random? Like something I just can't even tell. It's so perfect. I'm like, was that just totally random or was that really like part of the show? So yeah, like it was so good, man. The topics that he touched on that people are afraid to touch on, I loved it, man. I loved it. So I'm glad you liked it, Josh. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's fantastic. So I take this stuff called throat calm, and even though I sound like trash, my throat does not hurt at all. It's the best stuff ever.
Throat calm?
Like, throat calm.
Okay, because if
it's
you
like
don't pronunciate that all the way, there's a lot of different words that calm sounded like, and I was like, whoa, what? throat calm? Did you say?
Calm.
Okay,
There's
calm.
these little pills that you like hold under your tongue.
And they do what? They deteriorate?
They just dissolve.
They dissolve. Okay.
Like you will not have a sore throat.
Interesting. You've come up with a couple of recommendations the last couple of weeks that are very applicable to people's lives, man. Very hands on.
I guess so.
Throat calm. For those looking for it, it's CALM.
Yeah.
Not any other way you may have heard that or interpreted that.
No.
Throat
None of that.
calm. And Josh recommends it. As you could tell, your voice is even more southern today because of it. More country twang to it. So it's good, man. It's good stuff. You're mixing it up. We appreciate it. You're trying something out. You're trying something new. And if this catches on, you may stick to it. I get it, man. You can find Josh on social media, on Twitter. Where, Josh?
At JC Crocker on Twitter and on Player Profiler. I'll be writing a waiver article for Player Profiler this season, so that should be fun. Yeah.
That'll be fun. You'll hear all the recommendations of guys that Josh loves, and you should listen.
Week.
Josh, what was the last episode you dropped? The last article?
It was Fade Carlos Hyde and LaShawn McCoy by Damian Williams and Duke Johnson. It's my pinned tweet.
So hey, it's
if you look it up.
Definitely go look at it. Josh, he pins it now. Guys, you're taking the advice and you're doing it, Josh. Don't think that I didn't give you that advice and also see you applying it. I've seen you applying it. You're throwing it in group chats and stuff now. You wouldn't do it before. And you're like, okay, fuck it. I'll just be bossy with this and push it around. And that's what you're doing, and I appreciate it, Josh.
Apparently that's what people do.
That's what you do, man. That is what you do. That is very, very much so what you do. So go check out Josh's articles at Player Profiler. He bangs some things out. And that's what Throat Calm comes in place for stuff like that. A long night worker over there. So definitely check him out and follow him at JC Crocker. You can find me at Clock Dodgers on Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Subscribe to the podcast anywhere, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those good locations. Or you can just visit clockdodgers.com and there's like links to all different apps. Whatever you want to do, man. You'll find it somewhere. Leave a review, tell a friend, all that good stuff. Josh, I have nothing else for today. Do you have anything else to tell these wonderful people?
Nothing, man.
All right, man. So hey, we don't have Adam here to spoil stuff, so that's always good too. So I don't know, an episode of Adam free episode was not bad. More raves, more podcasts on Friday nights, whatever we need to do.
More
Definitely.
MDMA.
More MDMA. Let's just get this guy hopped up over there in Chicago. For everyone else, as always, be kind, be great, be what? Be kind.
What
be.
just happened?
Well, I don't know. That was like, am I on ecstasy at this point? I don't know. Be kind, be great, keep dodging.